All right. Where's Mr. O'Leary?
Got
What's up?
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
It's going good.
So can you let everybody know who you are, what you do?
My name's Jay O'Leary. I go by Toofless. I draw garbage pail kid cards, sketch cards, and make art and toys and designer clothes.
Nice.
And it all started because of you guys. I remember going down and meeting Scott at DKE years ago. You were there with like Has No Talent, I think, and Buzzard Guts had his box of toys, and it was one of the most amazing things. Like, remember when I used to sleep in all the bushes, and you guys were like, "Who's that guy?"
So what you're saying is your career is my fault?
Yeah, it's pretty much.
So why do I like you?
I'm just a really lovable guy, you know. Like I'm that garbage pail kid you never got to grow up with. we know you're lying, but I'm the real life one. Like, I swear to God, they even drew me. Like, this is my character, and this is the guy who I have. And I bought some originals from Brent. I bought because I swear to God, they made one of me. He's missing his baseball and everything. And my son's made a cracks me up. So
now, how did you actually lose the tooth?
I talk a lot of shit, and somebody had I should be called Told Twice Toofy. I was at a concert and we were drunk throwing beer bottles at people, and somebody didn't think it was as funny as we did and let me know. My tooth is actually out in Salt Lake City at a tattoo shop in the counter. So you can go to the shop and my tooth is in the counter. When they tear that place down, I already bought it. I'm getting that chunk of the counter where my tooth is at. It's next to a pair of brass knuckles.
Wow.
Big deluxe tattoo.
You know, you could go to a dentist and take care of that if you wanted to.
But then I'd be toothful, and that's too nice. I got to stay toothless, you know?
Wow. What people do for their street cred, man.
No, it gave me character. It gave me a good person to. I'm really just a shy, quiet guy that doesn't like to do too much. I hide in my house a lot and draw pictures. So,
wow.
I create a lot of stuff. You got to see this new one, Dove. You're like this. That's all the characters, the War Stars 1 and 2 for the new poster for War Stars 3 coming out.
It's insane. I love how you treat your art. It's just like dog-eared corners.
It's just the sketches and preliminary. Like,
and then you'll call me like, Dove, do you want to buy this? I'm like, okay. And then it arrives and it's like, wow.
Yo, but dude, in the garbage.
Ian just went like this.
In the garbage pail kid world, they love those sketches. Like, I got some true fans out there. Like, we just had a convention. I had dudes from all over the country come out just to see me and Garbage Pail Kids. We got to view some stuff with Jeff Zapata. We got some new, well, I can't talk about too much, but there's going to be some rad new things coming up that is going to blow the people's minds. Garbage Pail Kids went away years ago, and it's lost a lot of its feel. The fans pretty much run Garbage Pail Kids now. I feel, and the fans are what makes all the sales keep going. And the fans, for some reason, love me. They're spending like $300 to $500 a card, you know, and that's a good feeling. I'm not seeing that, but people on YouTube or eBay and things like that are getting rich off my artwork. And I'm on a platform now that I have made friends in so many places in this world, the toy world. I mean, when it all started, I mean, we all had like, here's series 2. But it all started right here with series 1. These ones are the ones that got me the job at Garbage Pail Kids. And these are all designer toys. Like, this is one I made. This one was just like a local person who's doing plush. But
I have to say that one thing, Jay, that if someone was just tuning into this interview and just heard you start talking, they would have no idea what you're talking about.
That's okay, because all these guys are my friends and they all know me.
So if I was making like a mini series about like the Jay O'Leary story, like what is chapter 1? How does it start?
Dude, the good years, the years when I was a teenager learning about how to live today. I had a blast growing up in a super punk rock lifestyle. I grew up out in Oregon in the 90s. There was no better way to grow up. Got to see some of the best punk bands, running around with a bunch of sharps, living like the real street life, which turned over into being an adult, you know, because I was an adult at such a young age. Now that I'm an adult, I'm just a big old kid. So it has to start from my youth, man. Like, as entertaining as my art is, it's all reflections of my childhood.
So when did you start drawing? When did you start making art?
I have pictures from when I was like 2, 3 years old of drawing cactus scenes and like little skulls with bones. I was obsessed with dead stuff in the desert. And now I just moved to Las Vegas and it's hotter than shit here. It's like 110 degrees. I feel like I'm dying every day. But I've always been an artist. It's been a way of therapy for me, I guess. If you really look at my artwork, it's they're all stories. Everything I draw is a story. So, I mean, for example, I'm probably not allowed to show this off.
Don't worry, this won't air for like 10 years.
At least.
All right, cool. Well, this is one of the Garbage Pail Kids that I drew.
Nice.
But it's all like a whole entire story of all the cool things that I like.
So just so people know what they're looking at, that is a triple panel sketch card that someone will find randomly in like a $5 pack of Garbage Pail Kid cards.
And
because
so
original sketches come randomly.
People will buy boxes and cases of these things to get one of those. And to be in a place where I came from, to be creating something that I grew up loving, that was like something that cherished me as a child, is one of the biggest honors in the world. So it's a dream come true. And it all started because, you know, like, shit, I watched Toy Break. I was going through the internet and I saw George and Aileen, and it blew my mind. I was like, holy shit, what are these things? And I was living in San Diego and I'm like, dude, I'm like an hour away. I gotta go figure out what this is.
But that's how you got into toys, but you were doing art before that.
Oh yeah, I did. I've been tattooing for 20 something years. I mean,
let's move to chapter 2 of your life story. How did you get into tattooing? And why do you think people trust you to like take a needle to their body and make something permanent on them?
I was working in a head shop and everybody at the head shop was like, dude, you should do tattoos. And I was in a punk band and selling bongs, and then the cops came and stole all my stuff. And they just like
they stole your stuff?
They took all the glass from our shop. And they came in and raided, and it was called Operation Pipe Trees.
To be fair, it wasn't legal at the time, and they confiscated.
Laws were great. But I funded my tattoo shop with that, you know, because as they were throwing them out the front, we were running them out the back. And it was this huge, like, nationwide raid. All these shops got shut down, and I was out of a job. So I had to take tattooing more seriously, because I mean, I don't. Was that
the George Bush, like John Ashcroft era, or where they
went? It was called Operation Pipe Dreams. I was just on a TV show about it called Operation Pipe Dreams.
What year was that?
That had to have been 2000. My daughter's 19, 20 now. Had to have been 2003, 2004.
You have a 20-year-old daughter?
Yeah, man. I had to stop being in a gang somehow. Got to have kids to do that. So
there's so much wrong with what you just said, but let's keep going.
I was in a bad place in my youth, and I made bad decisions, and
then you used having a child to fix it.
No, it just happened. I had a family, and then I needed to take care of my family rather than do dumb stuff. So
well,
I might look like a goon, but I've got good morals. So look at all those greats, dude. You have a John Wayne Gacy painting and Gigi Allen up there. Look at all those goods. Look at all those goods up there. Some original Garbage Pail Kids.
Wow. All right. So then you have a career in tattoos. And then that occupies you for how long?
I still tattoo.
You still tattoo.
It's great money. I mean, I'm $150 an hour, so that's a good way to, you know, supply myself with being able to do the dumb shit that I do. Like, I spend so much money making cards that I don't make anything off of, but I just love it. So, but I mean, it scored me some pretty cool things. Like, I just got done doing this, the new Green Jelly album.
I did pick that up. That is amazing.
And so I've got 2 pieces in that. There's one of mine. And it's a dude jerking off the bologna, so that was dope. And then like, he's got a bologna and his little pecker popping out of it. And the dude wants me to do him an original sketch for it. And like, it's the whole thing was Maynard is coming back for the tour. They're going on a full tour, and Maynard's gonna go and sing with them. So he's gonna stop tour.
My kids are watching this, by the way. But okay, go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. They met me before. They remember me. They remember your son's like, smoking's bad. And I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible. I go to Dove's house and I'm smoking a cigarette. It wasn't the smartest thing ever, but whatever. I got to hold an amazing piece of art. You
know, it's like, but you know, you said you wanted to smoke. We found you an ashtray. But then the kid comes up and, I mean, because Ian smokes, and when Samuel comes over here, he gives him a hard time. He just looks at him
he's
like,
the cutest kid in the world.
He's like, you know, you shouldn't be smoking.
Yeah, it's like, the most disappointing thing in the world. You still got that teacup? I still want to paint it.
Still have the teacup.
I still got some paint.
We'll talk.
Next time I'm in Southern California, we'll do a little Garbage Pail Kid piece over there.
Sounds good. All right, so you're doing tattoos, and then you saw Toy Break. What year is that?
Man, it has to have been. I found one of my old flyers that they made fun of me because I spelt it wrong because I suck at spelling, and I just found it. Hold on, they made fun of me on it for years.
As someone who is, you know, compelled.
Oh, dude, I spelled tattoos wrong too. It sucks. And the funny thing is, they didn't even notice until the internet told them. Here's a rise of the beast.
What's funny is that as someone who is forced to communicate with you electronically from time to time,
I probably seem like a drunken fool because I suck at spelling.
It is.
Like, if you ever have like a business meeting or text with me, you're like, what the fuck is wrong with Jay?
It like, can be challenging. and usually I find that it is better for my sanity and state of mind to actually get you on the phone.
Yeah, I love a texter.
Because you say something and it really requires like 2 to 3 questions to suss out like what you're actually trying to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's totally okay with me.
Yeah, I know I suck at texting. Everybody tells me that's why I have to get a manager. I actually have a manager and an assistant now. It's weird. Like, I feel all professional.
You have a manager?
To pay people to come.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I'm doing a lot of stuff outside of all the stuff I'm used to. I'm trying to be professional now, and I got clothing. I'm doing monthly boxes. I've got some toys on the way, but I'm getting really big into, sorry to say, but in the weed world, it's fucking gold out here in Vegas. And I work for, I was just on a TV show, so I'm doing all this stuff with Tommy Chong and Jerome Baker, and I made a whole series of cards, and NFTs are going crazy, so I'm becoming a professional. It's weird.
That's amazing. What does he say? Jay's texts are like NPC dialogue on the first Zelda. Wow. So wow, you've just created an image in my mind. Like, it's like you, like, you know, with your entourage and like you getting out of like a limousine and people are like, and you're just like, say something and someone's like, yes, right away.
It's weird. It's happening. I have like a little cult following. It's awesome. Like, I got a fan club that draws me now. I have a whole stack of trading cards of people all over the world that draw me. Like Becky Sharp, all the guys from England, like this fan club I have. And I mean, I started a clothing company called Toofless, and it's successful. It's like small run, high price. I make slippers and people think they're funny and they spend $100 on them.
Wow.
It cost me, I don't even want to tell you how much it cost me.
No, you don't need to. That's not important.
It's been successful selling. Sounds dumb, but I sell myself. I'm like,
Nice.
I'm turning myself into a character.
Good for you.
And it works. You
Well,
know?
I'm just going to give you this one piece of advice. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It just matters how much money you save.
Well, I suck at that part. That's why I got people I pay to take care of me now. And they suck too because they're just like fans. So
and they suck too. Wow, I hope
no,
they're
they
not
know. I
watching
tell them,
this.
I'm like, okay, we got to go out, we got to party and promote. Like, you know how the business is, the art world is. Here in Vegas, I found out that you have to literally go out and show people everything that you're doing, and people buy into it. YouTube and all these, they call TV show people are now called influencers. And I live in a town full of fake people that are all influencers, and everybody uses everybody. And it's been disgusting, but it's made me a businessman. And now I have employees.
Wow, that's amazing. So I want to just talk about the toys. I want to get to that chapter. So you said you discovered Toy Break with Aileen and George, and you decided to get into the toy world. How did you make it into resin toys? What was the influence?
I started with minifigures. I was in love with, you know, the all the minifigures George was making, sculpting. It touched something in my head that reminded me of being a kid, and it just brought back happiness. And I haven't been happy in a long time. And so I just dug on the things that really like grabbed what made me stoked, and I became obsessed with it. I started watching all the shows, going back and watching reruns. And then I started getting involved in like chats and sending pictures to Aileen and George, and I would draw them as characters. And
is that how we met? Was it George that introduced us?
No, you called me about my He-Max toy, and I saw your name on my cell phone, and I was like, oh my God, it's Dove. Well, why is he calling me? Because I just put it on the internet. I did a picture of like He-Max in front of the Capitol.
Not that intimidating. I mean,
well, when you're watching Toy Break and they're just like, oh shit, Dove's here. It's like, oh fuck, who's Dove? You know, like, and when you're some small kid in Boise, Idaho, you don't know anybody. And even the toy shops there, like, oh yeah, Dove, you know, because you know all the guys out in Boise, they have all like, who's the guy who lives out there? Mindstyle's out of Boise. Mm-hmm. And so all those guys are all like, oh yeah, that's crazy, you got your toy with them. So they started giving me free toys. They're like, oh, you work with DKE? Here, here's my pile of garbage or like Ninja Turtle toys. So I just started getting free parts.
Yeah. You just said my name and people gave you free shit?
Well, they saw my stuff.
I don't say my name and people give me free shit.
Well, they have like the broken toy bin, and they're like, you're gonna cut shit up anyways. Here's all the broken stuff. Here you go. And so I had like bins of stuff from Time Zone Toys out of Boise. It's a great place. David out there. David, he's a yo-yo guy. I'm sure you know him. You've seen him in shows.
Sure. So how do you get to making resin action figures?
I am in love with Sam Keith, and I've always wanted a cool Max toy, and I could never find them. And then after I made my Max toy, I was like, oh, dude, they got dope ass Max toys. I should have just went and bought one of those. But I grew up like, you know, the weird toys like Barnyard Commandos and Food Fighters and all like the weird stuff. So I wanted to bring that feel, but He-Man, like I made this cover.
But how did you? Right, that's the card art for the Maxter. But how did you learn how to cast resin?
I just started looking online, and Bo Greener from Credenda Studios, he lived in Boise. Mm-hmm. And I went to a concert at Treefort and saw this. I saw this like Treefort monster he made. And I'm like, what is that? It's like a toy that you can't get at the store. I've never seen anything like this. And he's like, oh, it's my Treefort thing. I do these. And then he showed me a couple of his toys, and I bought like a Sam Raimi piece. I bought the Clockwork Orange piece, and he just has these at his house. And I'm just like, these are fucking awesome, dude. How do I do this? So he kind of gave me the 1-2s on how to do the card backing. Mm-hmm. And so like you felt my cards are like nice and thick, you know, the comic book trick. But then he showed me how to make toys, and I could never get it. They all look like shit. Like, I don't know if you remember these guys, but this is one of the last ones. of what I have left. I think you have the rest of them. Do you have any left of those Hemaxes?
Oh no, those are sold out years ago.
Okay. Well, that's rad. I didn't know they all were sold out. I thought the bigger ones on these cards, I thought these ones did really well. The master backer.
You sent me one as a gift, and then I sold it and then paid you for another one to replace that. So
one of my fans, James Wesley, he's a huge buyer now. He's always buying stuff. He's a good friend of mine. He brought me to Meow Wolf, and I think he owns one of the master ones. But I'm going to redo that so I can fit it into the box for Resin Masters. I just don't know how I could do a Hemax look small.
You don't have to do that. You can go work on other projects. That's okay.
Okay. I have lots of cool stuff to film.
You ran out of stuff. Okay, so you learned how to cast figures, and then was Hemax the first figure that you made?
No, I did a couple, just like small little things I did with Toy Break and the small little like the OMFGs and things like that. But nothing ever big. It was always that Hemax was my first big one. So it was like my first baseball hit, and then you called me. And then it was just on from there.
And then from that point on, it's just been smooth sailing.
No, it's been crazy, wild madness. It's been the wildest ride of my life.
I remember you coming out to the show we were at in Vegas, and you have this habit of traveling with not enough money to get back home.
I never have plans. I just show up.
And
you're not disappointed that way.
It's happened on more than one occasion where, I was like, hey, Jay, how's it going? And it's like, yeah, I just slept over there in the, outdoors last night. I was like,
it's
what?
Urban camping.
Urban camping, right. And, and then it's like you're at a convention and you're just trying to sell enough stuff to buy a plane ticket home.
Yeah.
And then somehow you end up not being stranded. There's a long story we won't go into about this road trip that you took with a dude to come out to LA.
That was crazy.
We're not going to talk about that, except to say that for your own safety, you got out of the car in Vegas.
No, I was in Reno.
In Reno, sorry.
And then all the bikers picked me up.
And then you managed to just post online that you're in town. Can I do some tattoos for people? I don't know who's sitting around waiting for Jay to come to town to get a tattoo done, but apparently these people exist. And you do the tattoos and then you get enough money to fly home.
Yeah.
What the fuck is your life, dude?
I'm Gypsy J, but I'm probably one of the hardest working, devoted, crazy guys in the game. I don't think there's anybody else that would do the things that I've done to create the art I do.
I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing, but okay.
Hey, you remember me, right? So I did my job. People remember the tooth.
So let's talk about your style of art. You're drawn.
Can't handle the tooth.
Yeah.
The whole tooth and nothing but the tooth.
Oh man.
Tooth hurts.
I'm going to hell for this.
The tooth hurts. It's not a bad place. It's hot here, but Vegas is a bad place to
go. But your art style has it's very intense, a very busy, not in a bad way. It's like you fill up the whole paper generally. Like you just keep going until there is no paper left. And it sort of has this, I don't know, this kind of wild style, old school graffiti, feel to it. Is that intentional?
No, I just draw what I feel. Every piece of art I ever done, I can explain to you, is pretty much poetry. is the best way I can explain it. My head works in weird ways. I don't know, it's wonky. So I
wouldn't say.
I draw things the way I like, and I've always followed what I like. And if I keep continuing to do the same thing consecutively, it grows on people. It's like a fungus or a mold, you know, it just kind of grows on you.
I mean, you've grown on me. Yeah, definitely.
It grows on everyone he touches.
Yeah.
It's like a bad STD.
Yeah. Well, I haven't done anything to kill it yet, so it's
Penicillin doesn't work.
But did you have any formal art training?
I actually failed every art class I ever took. I would get in trouble because I wouldn't follow the rules. They would give us like, the best example is I remember I was in high school art, or I was in 9th grade, so it was high school. And the teacher was like, all right, here's a mannequin and glass. And so I did a chick burning on beer bottles and burning Bibles and goat heads. And the teacher's like, you fucking failed completely. Like, you didn't do anything we told you to. And I'm like, but that's what I see. And she's like, well, you have issues. You need counseling. and it became a problem at school. And so then I was like, fuck you. I'm going to draw the most fucked up shit I can just to piss you off. And at the end of the year, I flunked art. And she was like, I can't give you a good grade, but I can tell you that you're one of the most amazing, like you have a different style. Your technique is different than anything. And like Jeff Zapata, the guy, he's an artist for Tops.
Sure.
He came to me and he asked me to, I don't want to say apprentice under him, but he had me sit and draw for him one night when we were out hanging out. And he would watch me draw, and he's like, why do you do this? And I'm like, I don't know, that's how it's supposed to be done. He's like, nobody does it like this. Why are you doing this? I'm like, that's how it makes sense. And he's like, what do you mean that's how it makes sense? And he like pulled me aside and told me this like whole Padawan story. It was like I had tears in my eyes, you know, the way he's talking to me. He's like, I choose you. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you're one of the most amazing artists I've ever seen. You're like a Picasso who's never been taught. He's like, once you learn your ways in art, you're gonna fucking blow the world's mind.
You've told me this story prior to this. Have you taken him up on this offer?
I saw him a couple weeks ago and it broke my heart. He's like, you disappointed me. And I kind of lost my mind during the pandemic. I let a lot of like,
wait, I'm sorry. Who disappointed who? He disappointed you?
Disappointed Jeff.
Oh, why?
Just because I haven't he gave me he's one of the smartest men I've ever met. He talks to you kind of like the way you talk to people. It's like a choose your own adventure. And you're sitting there and you say what you want to say and it's your choice which path to take.
Right.
And he had a lot of hope and dreams.
I talk to people like that?
You talk to me like that. You're like a little dad.
You can go through the door on the right or the flaming door on the left. And
I always go for that flame because it's so cool. But like when everything in my life is, you know, I have fun, and you'll like all of a sudden Dove Kellerman, like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. I got to get on the phone with Dove. And like, hey, how you doing? I just want to talk to you and see how you're doing. It's like you always call in at like a good time. Like it's just
because like, I mean, how shall I put this? I like you as a person. I think you're talented, but of all of the artists that I know, if there's anyone that I actually worry about that is gonna be like, you know, face down in the gutter, dead, it's you.
Well, it's a good thing I don't drink. I don't drink and I don't do drugs. Well, I smoke a lot of pot, but you know, I live in.
I don't do drugs, but I smoke a lot of pot. Okay,
there's a huge difference, but okay. No, I've got a really good team behind me, but I was never really like.
Do they know CPR?
I know CPR, so I have a little button somewhere on my badge here.
But you can't do CPR on yourself.
You're all sitting there just hitting yourself.
Wow.
No, but it's been a great thing for my career. You know, I've gotten to places I would have never gotten if I didn't take those chances. And to me, it was not even that big of a deal. I grew up a lot worse. So to me, I'm living a successful life, man. I'm loving it. I love every second. I wouldn't trade anything for the world.
So the key to a happy life is make sure that you have the crummiest childhood possible, and then it just goes up from
everything
there.
looks better. It's like hanging out with the factory. You know, no, sorry, that's horrible. But I'm breaking toys. No, it wasn't like I had a crappy childhood. It was just really shitty. So
wow, we're gonna start like a t-shirt line of like J-isms.
Jisms.
That's
Just coming at you.
wow. Trademark. Wow.
Holy shit.
That could be like a little daily calendar book, like the old funny Far Sides or whatever.
You just
like
rip
jisms.
off the page. It's like
And just not milk on the back sides you throw them. That's too far.
wow. Okay, so back to how you disappointed Jeff Zapata. Go on.
So I don't really know what I did. I just know that when he got there, him and I had more of like a heart-to-heart, and I took it to heart. And I really, you know, sat down and reflected on a lot of things, and just like, I want to be successful. I need to not be so toothless, I guess you could say, and more J. I realized that when you turn into your alter ego, you live a lot more lavishly and less caring of your own personal self doings than you would as like a normal person. So I'm taking on a couple new projects. I can't talk about anything really, but a couple of new projects I'm doing are going to be very, very lucrative for my career and for a lot of people upcoming with things. And I am building a pretty good team. I don't know if you've seen the new guys I've been working with. Did I ever send you the pictures we did for the Star, the Hip Hop Trooper for War Stars 3?
I don't think so.
So I made friends living out here with a lot of people, and I have a Trey from Never Ending Story. He's going to be doing some stuff with us. We have some new toys coming out, and War Stars 3 is about 9 or 10 cards in. And I was trying to drop them for DKECON, but printing is just so expensive and hard. You know how that's always my hard part. But I've got some pretty good artists that are, the team I work with now is amazing. You're gonna shit your pants when you hear who I have on the team. Bringing some people out of retirement. Let's put it that way.
Well, if you want a suggestion about War Stars 3, I think that by making the packs, you're really creating a problem for yourself logistically. And I think at this stage of the game, if you end up, you know, how your uncut sheet, how many cards were on uncut sheet? Like 25?
20 cards on the uncut sheets.
20. So if you do a 20, 40, or 60 card set, that you just buy plastic cases and release them as a set. I think you'll have I think you'll have a much easier time than printing the wrappers, packing those yourself, and then at this stage of the game, there's just, in an absence of putting chase stuff
all the
in
new
there,
styles that I'm doing being from Tops now, and who I'm going to have on this set, I am going to do a little surprise US tour. I'm going on one of my crazy adventures again, and I'm going to end up in Vermont. And I'm going to not leave a place in Vermont. I'm not going to say any names, but I'm going to go to every town that I have an artist in, from San Diego all the way to New York, and I'm going to end up in Vermont, and I'm going to try to get these done the proper way. And it's going to be more of a limited thing. I'm going to have my open runs. But
does this person in Vermont know that you're coming?
No, it's not for like 4 or 5 months. I'm going to do kind of like an old school thing.
Because that doesn't sound like it's going to work out very well.
I know. He's always told me no, but I'm gonna just go and knock on the door.
But
and
you
see if I
don't.
can
But
get
you
work.
don't need that. What I'm saying is the printer that you have is just fine. All you have to do is just print the cards with that dude and sell them in sets.
Yeah, I can't do Series 1 anymore. Series 1 sold out.
Forget about Series 1. We were talking about Series 3.
Yeah.
Everything else is done. I'm just saying, like, if you do them in sets, then that means you can go print 100 of them, and when you sell out, you can go print 100 more. And
Oh,
if you
that's
want
how
to
I
put
can
it,
do now.
and if you want to put a sketch card with it, but you definitely don't have to travel across the country to print it properly with a person who doesn't even know you're coming.
Oh, I know. This
Because
is more of like a personal thing I'm gonna do. It's gonna be fun. It's just for my own personal journey.
Janky is shaking his head, and inside I am like screaming up and down, like, no.
Well, I'm just gonna go hang out and see how things work out there.
I'll give you the
My
name of the
family
cheap
made
printer.
an old press, and I'd like to. He has one down out of his shop, and I wanted to check it out. The Kelsey press. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
I don't think you need to like
is
spend months
Bill
of your life
Kelsey. So
traveling
I wanna go
across
out
the
and check out
country
how
to,
that thing
to
works
check out a
anyway,
press.
so.
Never mind.
Let's go see some old friends. I got to
Good.
go out to Clutter anyways, so I got plans. It'll be fun to watch. You know, Tales of a Toothless Man.
My favorite reality show.
But I'm gonna go and I'm doing a bunch of artists. I can't really say many names, but I'll send you pictures later
Cool.
tonight. You're gonna be really stoked when you see who we got going on. I've got 9 cards already for the Hip Hop Trooper, and he's already knows about it. We talked about doing it.
That's good that
We're
he
doing
knows
a bunch
about
of
it.
toys. Yeah, it was something I was gonna do before, but we had a little hiatus. I had to find some housing for a while, so moving to Vegas was a lot harder than I thought.
But it seems to have worked out, right? I mean,
Oh yeah. This new place I've got tons of new stuff that I've got we're bringing a screen press in. I'm getting a whole storefront, and like I'm right in the decent part of Vegas. I'm not in the ghetto anymore, so I don't have to worry about all like the scary people anymore. Like I was living right underneath the Strat. It was interesting to say the least.
I see.
So
Nice.
I was nervous to go to the store sometimes at night.
Got it.
But
All right.
I'm putting together a bunch of new stuff. Yeah, the new Garbage Pail Kid cards are coming out. We have a whole new series that are. Have you seen those yet?
Which ones?
It's like the brand new. They're calling it Series 2. That's just come out. It hasn't dropped yet. We're turning in our cards. I think this week or next week. So
No, I haven't seen those yet, but I'm sure I'll see them when they come out.
But yeah, I've done I think 9 series with Garbage Pail Kids, Ninja Turtles, War Stars. So it's been since I did all these of all the bootleg toys. I mean, it's brought me to pretty good success. I mean, like I live off of drawing poker cards.
That's amazing. All right, dude, we have to get going. I really appreciate the time. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
It has been a wild ride.
You guys are done.
I held my breath. No, I'm just talking about your interview. All right, dude. I love you. Thank you for taking the time for us. We really wish you the best.
I'll be
Stay
down
safe.
in the bit. I'll be down in your guys' part of town soon. I'll see you guys around.
You let us know. We're around.
Cool. All right, guys.
Take care, dude.
care.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Ah, so good. He always so good.